of organizing the design and construction of any artifice which transforms the physical world around us to meet some recognized needs. Drawing an inspiration from that beautiful quote, bidding welcome to another interesting, educative, and confidence building edition of Engineering and You on your Superdao station, OGBC 90.5 FM, the nation's model station. Stay meet up with Babalola. If you're just tuning in, the program is definitely Engineering and You. Joining us for the first time, it promises to be an educative and interesting moment. So, welcome once again. On Engineering and You, we meet to tap also from the wealth of experience. And this program, Engineering Adequate, our guest on this week's edition of the program is already seated in is an electricity distribution company, IBEDC. It covers commercial and collection losses reduction, ATC and C. Engineer Simon worked with Abu Electricity Distribution Company, Runach Petroleum Capacity Capital Project. He emphasizes completion of projects to time and budget without compromising standards. Engine Simon is an alumnus of the Federal Polytechnic, Ida, Kogi State, and Federal University of Technology, Mina. Our guest is a certified engineer with the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Korean, and a corporate member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSC, a certified project management professional, and a certified health, safety, and environment expert. Engineer Simon Ojima, Mnse. You're welcome to Ojima 9.5 FM.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
It's indeed a pleasure to have you join us on this in power generation and distribution.
Thank you very much. Talking about electrical engineering and power system engineering. You know, in power system engineering, there are three components that make up power system engineering.
Three components?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And one of the components is the generation. Then the second component is the transmission, and the third one is the distribution. So now, the role of an engineer in this power system engineering is very, very important. Now, take it from the generation. If you take it from the generation, you can say the input, where the energy is being imputed into the network, energy gets to the end users. So you can see like now, let's take a Kenji Dam as an example. In Niger State. Energy is being generated in Kenji Dam in Niger State, and somebody in, let's say in Ogun State, wants to enjoy electricity. You can see the distance. So what makes the energy to be transported? What makes the energy to arrive at its end user? And this energy is safe for use. There are cases where people complain that their equipment, their apparatus, monitors, television are burnt as a result of a kind of current that was transmitted.
High voltage.
High voltage. Now, all these are what the role of an electrical or power engineer entails. It is because an engineer is required to manage and monitor frequency, the frequency constant. When there's fluctuation in the frequency, what we experience at home is bound to happen, like the burnt equipment, television, and what have you. So the engineer ensures that the energy generated its end user and is usable, not destroying the apparatus, not exceeding the limits. Voltage is not supposed to exceed 240 volts. But in a situation whereby a voltage exceeds 240 volts, then you begin to, because your electronics are designed to take voltage not less than not higher than 240 volts.
So I want to digress a bit now, because Right? I'm interested in that area. Sometimes when we have high voltage, and we sometimes also experience low voltage. Why do we experience this?
That's what I was telling you before.
So we also experience low voltage.
Yes.
But what we do in that instance when we experience low voltage?
Okay, a lot of things could result
Okay.
that could make us to experience low voltage. Now, it could be that the line where you are is overloaded. No, you are supposed to have red phase, yellow phase, and blue phase. Where many times you see people who connect to only one phase, and everybody like a community trying to extend a line to their end, and they use only one phase. So it will make the system not to be balanced. And when the system is not balanced, it means one will suffer the consequence.
That means one is being overstressed. Taken away from this process.
It cannot. It cannot. Looking at power generation, electrical engineers are people that you find at the generation power plants. Transmission, electrical engineers are the people you find there. At the distribution, so we have a lot of electrical engineers in the power system. So removing them is like you are looking for trouble. It's like you have been hearing of AC sounds, power failure, system collapse. So anything that makes this to happen is like this is what you are likely to see when they are removed.
Unfortunately,
Total darkness.
unfortunately, a few hours ago now, we even experienced this great collapse, but government says they are on top of it. Do we still experience such a
Doctors, many a times engineers will advise the government. No, it is not enough to advise an organization or a client. But if you don't stick to the advice, you keep having the same results.
Do we still have, apart from electrical engineers, do we also have other branches of engineers being connected to power generation, distribution, and transmission?
Yes, we have instruments engineers, instrumentation engineers.
Or there's
Yes.
instrumentation engineer.
Yes.
What is instrumentation engineer all about?
Okay. They are responsible for measuring. There's their role is to measure apparatus, to measure parameters, power parameters, voltage, frequency, power. They also design equipment apparatus that can be used to measure this.
So instrumentation engineering can be studied as a course in the university.
Yes.
But do you have any university offering such a course in our dear country, Nigeria?
That's where the problem is. Except when you advance your study at a higher degrees. That is where you can now master only instrumentation engineering. But at the first degree level, there is no university as at today that offers such course. But if you go outside the shores of Nigeria, definitely you'll find institutions where you can, from a first degree, take a course in instrumentation and measurement engineering.
If you just tuned in the program, you're listening and you on OGBC 9.5 is an electrical engineer who goes by the name Engineer Simon Ojima. Now, apart from being a certified engineer, you are a certified project management professional and certified health safety.
Like we already know, an engineer is a problem solver.
Yes.
Anywhere you see problem, you are inviting an engineer to come and perform miracle. When you want to solve problem, that's a project. Like now, we are in this station, and we want this transmission to get to our audience, and our audience will be located in Ogun State here. There are some outside Nigeria, and we want to get this program across to them. There's an aspect of engineering that we call telecommunication engineering.
Engineering, yes.
They are the one responsible for transmitting a signal from a location to a far location. Now, this is a project. Now, in this studio, there is an amplifier. There is a speaker. This speaker,
This microphone as well.
oh, sorry, this microphone
Yes.
converts my voice to signal, which passes
Through those wires, these cables.
So, and then it gets to the speaker, but receiver in this case, to decode the signal. The voice now has to be decoded back, understood. So this is a project. This is a project that an engineer must handle. There are things that one needs to know about an engineer. When you see an engineer, see them as managers, and they also manage machines. So project managers or engineers are managers.
Now, looking at it, you didn't stop at that, you extended it to being a certified health, safety, and environmental expert.
Okay.
How does it add up to your profession as an engineer?
Okay, thank you. You see, in engineering, safety is a habit, is terminating safety. When you remove safety from your calculation, when you remove safety from your design, then that is not engineering. They're bound to kill people, or to even kill yourself.
Is it a must that you must undergo these professional courses? Is it a must, or it's an added advantage in your career progression?
Okay, we can say it is an added advantage, but we can also say it is a must. There are companies that will not take you if you do not do some safety courses, like in oil and gas, because of the hazard of the environment. If you don't do some advanced safety courses, they won't take you. So your requirement to attending their interview is that you have the safety certificate
With you?
with you. So safety courses, taking safety courses can be seen as another advantage. That is if you are in an area where they don't consider safety as a priority. But if you are in an environment where they consider safety as a priority, then it is a must.
If just tuned in, the program is Engineering and You on Ojima 9.5 FM. We now open the phone lines for you to be part of the conversation this lovely evening. Do you have any question for our guest? Do you have any suggestion as well? Please feel free to chip in your advice or ask any question for our guest on this week's edition of the program. You can call 0803 437 9453. 0803 437 9453 and 0815 032 0226. Our guest once again is Engineer Simon Ojima. Now, Engineer, can you take us through the courses in engineering apart from the conventional civil, mechanical, and electrical engineering?
There are other courses that can be taken in engineering.
Okay.
There is foundry engineering.
For
Foundry engineering.
foundry
Yeah.
engineering.
OUNDRY.
Wow.
Yes. They are responsible for melting iron and casting it and converting it into molds. There's also metallurgical and materials engineering. They also deals with investigation of materials to check the strength of the materials. Now, if you are planning to take a course, would be considered when maybe a Jokota steel company comes on board. Though, as we speak, there are companies where foundry engineers, metallurgical and materials engineers are already doing their job.
But when we have this set of engineers in our dear country and we still experience building collapse and all sorts, would you want to subscribe to the fact that we have enough of them in this country? Probably if you have enough of them in this country, we could have, even at the point of entry or the point of production, would have detected that this material is substandard. Do you?
Like, it, to some persons now, it appears they are hearing
For
that
those
foundry
days,
engineering and metallurgical engineering for the first time. First time,
okay.
there are limited universities that offer courses. I think I know of a polytechnic in Kogi State that offers foundry and metallurgical engineering. I know FUTA, Federal University of Technology Akure.
Akure.
They
Yeah,
also
you
offer
know.
metallurgical engineering, but other universities they don't offer them. So that translates to the fact that we have limited number of this set of engineers.
Now, apart from foundry engineering, metallurgical engineering, I know of
Chemical engineering,
mechanical engineering, mechatronics engineering in our universities that you know of.
there's also agro and bioresource engineering. Agro
Agro and
resource
bioresources
engineering.
engineering. Okay.
They offer same
Is it
in
related
my
to agri?
course. So it's like a combination of two. Like we have electrical and electronics engineering, like we have materials and metallurgical. So
That you are enjoying this line of engineering? Anything take you away from engineering? If yes, what is it? Then if no, why?
nothing would be able to take me away from of becoming a minister of power in our country someday.
Wow.
And I thank God that even where I work now, a power distribution company, and I know I'm in the right direction. So I've always dreamt to work in a power sector. I remember years back when I was in school, and there's this engineer Raji. He took us power system engineering, and I enjoyed his class.
Wow.
In fact, this man can lecture for 4 hours
And you'll be
without
tired.
check. He will not, and you will not be tired.
Very interesting class.
Very interesting class. You write and write and write and write and write. You keep talking and you enjoy the class. And so at the end of one of the lectures, I allowed him to go to his office. So when he got to his office, I approached him. I said, "Sir, I want to be like you. I want to study. I want to be an important person in power system,
Wow.
just like you."
Hmm.
So he said, "Okay." And that time I was about going to 400 level, and he now suggested to me that
And you really enjoyed the class then?
I did. I did. In fact, his course is a three credit unit.
3 unit class.
So it's for 3 hours, and those 3 hours is not a dull moment.
Wow.
It's not a dull moment.
Wow.
So he now recommended that I should go to a a disco to apply for to do my Cyrus, and I did. In fact, it was about the time that securing a placement for IT Cyrus was difficult.
Wow.
But because I followed what he told me, I was able to secure placements. He told me that I should approach the HOD, that HOD will give me a cover letter, and immediately I presented the letter to the manager then in Mina. So he saw it. Himself too was also he's also an engineer, and our HOD too is an engineer. So seeing the letter carried in fact, you see the letter, you have no choice than to accept me. So when I never knew that I've shortlisted. So when I met, haven't you gotten a place for your Cyrus?
Cyrus.
He said, how do you know? He said he was there yesterday. I said, my name will be there. So when I went to the place and they confirmed that I was shortlisted.
Most
So that
definitely.
is where my empower.
Most definitely true your Cyrus experience.
To so many things in power system.
Okay, now
Who are always afraid of mathematics. To me, I did not find mathematics difficult. I don't know. I used to have a cousin brother, and that cousin brother student, but he helped me with a textbook in mathematics, new school mathematics, I think, and truly went a long way to make me to understand mathematics. But the subject I found difficult was chemistry. But it was because we did not have a chemistry teacher. We were on self teaching ourselves.
so it was more or less OYO on your own. You were back then.
Yeah. So that was why it was looking as if it was difficult. We did not have anyone to guide us. For if there was someone to guide us, I'm very sure I would not have been afraid of chemistry.
Engineer Ojima, before I let you go this program as we are going to sell engineering to us in 2 minutes. I want you to take your time and engineering. Probably the fear of mathematics sometimes will always discourage them to proceed to studying engineering. But at this point in time, I want you to sell engineering to them in 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I want to, as you can see, I'm very young, and it's not long I left school, so to say, and so I'm in a better position to advise younger persons. I want to encourage those who are to get to SS1 to consider science as a class to belong when they get to SS1. Now, there's a reason why I said so. You'll find other subjects less difficult. And when you choose a career in science, it's like um, you have your own area of specialization. Maybe I take myself as an example. I as an engineer, I can work as an accountant. As an engineer, I can work as an admin, and even do it better than an administrator.
Wow.
Then I can do this job too. So I want to encourage everyone who is still in secondary school to choose engineering, science as a subject. Then I want to also encourage those who have finished, who took science as a subject, as a line,
And they are true
and they are true
at the
with
secondary school level.
at their secondary school level to choose engineering
As a course of choice.
as a course of choice. Because one, if an administrator retires from office, he may not be useful again. If an accountant retires from the secular office at the age of 60, he might not be useful again. He might not be doing a job that will fetch him good money.
They're active
But
like
if
that.
an engineer retires, in fact, most times you see engineer resigning before they retire.
Before the time of their retirement.
Yes, because they would have acquired experience, they would have acquired maybe capital to set up their own business. So then I also want to call on those who have graduated engineering, look at how to build society, like Nigeria Society of Engineers. Let them do a program that will make them to become corporate members of the society, because when I joined the society some years back, I have enjoyed some privileges. I have stood, I'm still standing.
And you continue to stand
on the shoulder of those who are already fellows of Nigerian Society of Engineers
that
and
are
other
already
senior
established.
engineers, because they are accommodating.
Just in
They are approachable. I know a lot of people that have walked up to me, younger persons, that have asked me that they want to study engineering. Even there are older people who have approached me too, that I am a research engineer, that what procedure did I follow to become one? And I guide them.
Engineer Simon Ojima, Mnse, I think after the program, I will have to approach you as well. If I can still go into the field of engineering, probably.
It's not late.
I can see that it's very, very interesting. That is how we call it a wrap on this week's edition of Engineering, and you on Ojima 100.5 FM. Sincere appreciation once again to our guest, Engineer Simon Ojima, Mnse, is an electrical engineer currently in the service of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company. Thank you so much for your time on the program, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I must also appreciate the input of Francis Engr Show, who ICT Yemiseri is the sound manager, not leaving out the beautiful Titilopa Ubajo, who has been giving us the much needed support from behind the scene. This is the production of Abiodun Adelodun. And lest I forget, this program Engineering and is proudly sponsored by Engineer Mrs. Funlayo Waid Adekojo and powered by the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Tony Shugbeson is the executive producer. My name is Tim Tokwe Babalala. Please do join us upper 6 next week Monday for a fresh edition of the program.